Hi,
Hello.
can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. I guess so because you responded. I think my audio is finally working again.
Oh, good.
Good. Yes. Just looking for my notes super quick. Okay, so tell me how it's going. I know that you did that live that was very successful in that group. Was that an angel group, if I'm remembering?
It was Archangel Michael and the Law of Attraction group.
Okay, great. And have you done more than one, or have you just done the one?
I did the one because I thought I'd wait a week and do the next one next Monday.
Okay.
So that way I'm not like doing too much or,
Yeah, I think once a week is plenty.
Yeah.
Especially because of the response you had.
The last I checked, it had like 4,100 views, I think.
Okay, good. And have you reached out, contacted? Have you come up with some kind of a copy and paste method where you could create something in Google Documents even? And
I kind of did, and I responded to some, but I was really busy in my work and my house process that I couldn't respond to everyone. So kind of in the middle of it, I figured my daughter Kelly, she has access to my account. So what my thought was that when I do my call on Monday, she's just going to be in there live with me logged in to my account. So that way she can copy and paste. So when I'm like, hey, I think the anxiety program would really work good for you, she can just copy and paste and literally respond to them right that minute.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's what I thought too. Then, because you're in the moment right then.
Yes. And even the ones that you if it's a lot and you couldn't respond to them, right, that you can, I would still keep track of all of them and respond because interest, especially. How many did you say that was 4,000 comments or views?
No, there was 4,200 views and 540 some comments.
Yeah, especially the people that commented, I would definitely make a note, maybe tag what they said or if it was anxiety, pain, whatever you think that of your categories that they were, that you could tag them as, and I would keep some kind of tracking system. And even if it's a week now, and then the next time you do your live, possibly you can message them because you can make connections, and that's really what you want to be doing. And that's a better networking than you could do, going to any even live event or paying for anything. I think that you got better responses doing that than you have on your Facebook.
On anything.
So you may, I know when we first talked, you had not sold anything on your online programs or online business. And since you have and that's what it takes at the beginning is, it's a lot of work. It's not easy. Building any business at the begining is not easy, but,
especially when
I had to actually go to events, live events, or go to networking groups and stand and collect with a piece of paper email addresses myself. So this is online. Since you want to have an online business, you're going to at the beginning, even maybe for the first couple of years you're going to have to build the connections, and it does seem like a lot of time, but even if you divided it up and just did so many a day, if you're getting paid customers from it, then I think that you would be leaving money on the table if you didn't respond, connect, and communicate with them. And then they're going to, it'll start to snowball because they'll tell their friends, and if nothing else, even if you they're paying, and then you're also going to start getting testimonies, because I think that's something that's important to have on your website, and to have, especially since you're doing the initial call for free. Did you record them or talk to the people about, or did you suggest or mention that you might use it for marketing purposes in the future?
I don't know what you mean about doing the initial call for free.
The live, right? You did the live.
The live in the group, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So that I didn't mention anything in that live about using that in any way.
Mm-hmm.
But So I don't know exactly what you're referring to.
Yeah, so when we talked about how I told you that whenever you do those, you could, let the people know that you would be using it. It is complimentary for marketing purposes. You can just put a little disclaimer in the bottom there. So next month,
Okay.
or whatever you're going to do it next. So if nothing else, you can use those video clips, because I think that if people went to your website and kind of saw how it worked, that they would be in the energy, and it would be, otherwise people don't really understand exactly what it is you do if they've never like experienced it or seen it. So that way they can truly work.
In my free group I had before, I recorded those calls and I already posted those on my website. So there's like 5 on there that are an hour and a half long.
Oh, great.
Of the healing work.
Okay, good.
That were in my group. So I had that permission. You know what I mean? Because it was my group.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Then did you notice, like, in your new group that you created, that you had more people like it, or did you gain any?
So I screwed up by not mentioning it. Like I didn't mention my group.
Yeah, you're probably so excited because you were super busy on the call. You're like, you were like definitely in a huge flow and, out of your head, not in a bad way, but in a very good way. So I can see why that could have been left out, but in the next call, definitely.
Yeah.
Do that, because then you can also gauge if you're getting people leads that way, because that's worth money, in itself, is just getting people into your groups. So I would.
Well, that's what I'm going to do next time. Say, I saw in that group that people do, like, if you want me to read a card for you, go like my page first and share it, and then I'll read a card for you.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, okay, that was kind of smart. So I'm like, if you want me to do a reading with you, go ask to join my group, or go ask to like my page or something. I need to direct them.
Will that person allow you to, like, on the comments of that live that you did, post a link to your group and then say?
I think so. I mean, they don't seem to really regulate that. And those people, the other people that do the card readings things, they're saying go like my page.
Yeah, so I think you should do that. Even if you just do it in the comments, because all of those people should then be notified that, that they'll get a notification because they're in the feed of the group, and at least, and then you can see like what you had at the beginning, and then if they're smart and they want, are interested in your work, then they will go like your group page. So that would be another way that I would try to, get value for your time for doing.
That was my plan with that, was to do that, to share the group and my page. And I did write a comment on there about going to my page and the one-on-one.
Oh, you did? Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
and then you got how many did you end up getting? 3?
I had 3 assessments, which were $29, and then I had 2 101 sessions that were $149. And then the lady I talked to from the assessment said she wanted to buy 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent her the link, and then I sent her another follow-up email yesterday, and I haven't heard a response. So I don't know if she changed her mind, but I'm not going to hound her.
Yeah. It'll happen. Maybe from the next one, something will happen.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I would just
So you sold 3 for 29 assessments, and then the one-on-ones. What did you charge?
Those were $149.
Oh, good. And did they have any hesitation? Did it seem like an easy price?
The one lady didn't, and the other one, I think I did that through the chat even. So she asked a few questions and was just kind of like, I don't have the money, I'm not sure. And I'm like, okay, well, Then she was just like, no. And so when I talked to her, it was really interesting. Her and I connected very well, actually. And she had an amazing healing, and also was like, okay, I'm just going to give me and my husband want to help feed people. And that's what God's called us to do. And we're just going to do it. So I'd send out auto.
Yeah, what did you say? Her and her husband want to help feed people? Is that what you said? I just got from whatever you said. I got huge.
It was really big for them because they've been fighting it. Because she's like, they don't want to do it out of their house right now.
That's so good. That's rewarding work for you to be able to help other people do God's work.
Yeah, so that's what that's kind of at. So
goosebumps over my legs and arms. That's amazing. That's good.
So when she brought that feedback, and then I send out follow-up emails the next day whenever I work with anyone. They're automatic, and Both of them, actually, three of the five responded back and said that they were doing really well and that the energy had shifted for them, and it was huge. So I thought
those people that would allow you to use testimonials, them as for testimonials.
That's what I was gonna do back was I have the next kind of like 5 days. I'm barely working at my job.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like 5 days now where I can finally do some proactive work back over this, because when I did that live on Monday, I didn't expect it to go.
Oh, who would have thought that? That's huge.
Yeah.
That's the power of your work and how much it's needed, and finding the right people, like finding your audience people. And that was really smart to go in that group. And I would love for us to make a list for you, not to overwhelm you and getting you to do it too much, but I can't think of any better way for you to be growing your business, honestly.
I couldn't
your online business. So think of other groups and I found a few.
I've been looking, and I went through all the ones I've already joined,
mm-hmm.
and I only found one, and she responded. Let me look and see what she responded if I make sure I understood it right. I had messaged her and I said, hello, I was wondering, are we allowed to do live healing videos in your group? Healers, the SARD whatever. And she's like, I'd really like to offer healing to people who are in pain, have stress and anxiety, but I don't want to do anything that offends anyone. And she responded and said, hello, many thanks for taking the time to ask prior to actually posting your services. So you can offer healing and live healing sessions as long as you don't ask for money for the service. Free healing is encouraged. What we don't want is that all healers start to use this circle as a platform to advertise their services. Then if from offering free healing to clients and extend your activity as a healer,
mm-hmm.
It does belong to you, and we won't have any look in this. And then she said like blessings and whatever. But when I read that, I was like, so what exactly am I allowed to respond with? Can I direct them to my group? Can I direct them to my page, or can I not direct them?
Yeah, that one, she seems a little more guarded than the other ones. Just seems like they.
Well, I didn't even ask them, and I just did it because I'd seen the other
ones doing it.
So I don't think she cares as long as I'm not saying, hey, do this for money. I guess I'll just respond back and say, hey, if people ask to connect with me, is it okay to direct them to my group? I'm just going to ask her, can I direct to my group? So at least I'm just going to direct to my group or direct to my page.
Okay.
You have to direct them how to connect with you. So that way I'm not saying, hey, go do this one-on-one with me, but I'm, some people might look out, but like give them an easy way. So I'm going to respond back after our call. I want to get your thoughts on it to respond back.
I think that's good. A good thing to say, just let her know that if they seem interested, that you'll connect them to your group, or do that on a side, not on her page. And I think, people used to be very guarded and protected because they didn't want their groups to get spammy. But I do believe that with the way that Facebook algorithms are, people are going to start learning that the more they do this, the better it is, because that was huge. It was a win-win, because that was huge for that group as well, that you did that in, because they got all of not Google, but Facebook, the Facebook lords, saw all of the action within their group. So that was a value to them as well. So I think that's an equally balanced relationship. And once people start like figuring out that about Google, and that will place them higher in everything that they do within their group, that more people will allow it. So maybe just try to find a few more. And I think that's a good idea. I was going to suggest we come up with a plan for following up.
Well, I went into
having your daughter on there would be really good.
Yeah, she's good with that too. She understands how I work very well.
Yes.
She's worked with me for a year, so she knows the right way to respond to people.
Right. She probably knows like what they need, what offer they would need. Like, right.
She would know without me even saying. Yeah.
Yes.
She's both my girls are like that. But I've already looked at the other pages I'm in, and none of the rest of them allow lives. So I'm going to have to, and then I looked through all of the pages that were underneath of spiritual, and none of those let you do lives. Okay. So I'm going to have to get kind of creative in searching. But there's a few that actually let you post your group in there. So I think it's just going to be an ongoing research project for me with that.
Yes, and I'm going to read too, because I found some that were like card readers, and I think that if you just went there, even though you're not reading cards, and explain it's kind of the same thing, but you don't need the cards, you don't need that tool. There's tons of groups that allow you to do that, read cards, and they're huge. They get a lot of responses. And people wait in line for hours to hopefully get a card pulled for them. So I think I'll start making a list for you too, writing it down and sending. I don't
know how many people I read that night, but it was a good 80 or 100, I think.
Yeah, it was a lot. And because I was like, okay, who's next? And then the one lady's like, what about me? What about me? So that was really good because they were really wanting it and like fighting for their spot almost in a good way.
But I couldn't keep up the feed. The feed was disappearing because I was trying to keep them in order. Then I'm like, the feed was like, there was so many.
You need like an assistant there, like writing it down and like saying who's next. Because I know and a few people that I work with that do read cards. Her name is Becky, and she will have to like have someone there like writing down like who was next, like whose turn it is. Because if not, people like literally. Yours, it wasn't like fighting in a bad way. It was like in a very good energy. But hers, they would be like, I was supposed to be next. And also they have
a couple of those.
Did you? Oh, yeah.
Just a couple. And I was just like, I don't know. Like if I start to see that, I'll actually be repulsed by the energy and won't read them because I can't
get over it. I'm doing like free.
I don't do well with demanding. I don't do well with demanding energy. I just don't. So.
It's like it closes. I get it the same way. Like I just shut off. I deflected. So anyway, that's huge. And then the person who bought 5, you sent a few for, but you could definitely get her, like ask her if she wanted to be, on your list for future offers, and like have her like get her email, ask her that, and you can.
I got her email because when they book an appointment with me, they had to put their phone number and email in.
Okay, good. But she did do one, and then she was going to possibly.
No, she did an assessment.
Okay.
But what she wanted me, like, you might laugh about this because what she wanted me to do was exactly what you said. She asked for it without me saying it. She's like, I want to work with you to learn how to use my gift. I want to learn how to, like, do this. So I was like, wow, that's exactly what Jenni had said I should be doing. And this lady was there and asked me, and she's like, so.
Oh, that's a good sign then.
It was. And she's like, well, let's do 5. I let her pick 3 or 5. She picked 5. And I basically did buy 4, get 1 free, which was 20% off.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, so are you going to give me an outline of what we're going to go over? I'm like, well, I can tell you right now and then give you an outline. I'm like, first week's observing what's going on with you. The second time I wait with you, it's going to be letting go of that. And the third time is going to be bringing source in. But we're going to be doing all 3 in each one. The 4th one, we're going to bring it all together. And the 5th one, we're going to talk about you working with people and the ethics and the boundaries that you need to set up to be doing that. And she was like, wow, that sounds great. I'm like, well, we'll record them all on Zoom. She's like, they'll be recorded. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I can't figure out how to upload those, but I'm going to upload them to YouTube. You'll have a private link so you can watch them from your phone since you don't have a computer. Mm-hmm. She's like,
oh, she doesn't have a computer?
She doesn't. And I was like, I can tell you like to take notes. You're going to want to watch these replays a couple of times to get all the information on. She's like, how do you know that? I'm like, because I'm reading your energy.
Right.
Like, so she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know everything. I know all, right?
Well, I don't.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, why you ask?
You read the person. But you have to be careful because sometimes the ego can say things that aren't the truth with them. But I just always ask God to make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay, so do you think that it would be worth like creating a sales page for that? There's a weird man with a flashlight on his head out my window. He's distracting me very.
That's weird.
Why does he have a flash? Not on his window, out my window, but he has a flashlight on his head like a coal miner. I'm like, why? It's bright. It's like light outside. I don't know why he has it.
You had basements there?
I don't know. It's across the street, like by the lake.
I mean, in general, like in Florida, they don't always do basements because of the.
Oh, no basements, no. But maybe he was in the attic or the roof. Sometimes, like raccoons or possums have happened. Critters can get up there. So maybe that's what it was. So, do you think it would be worth writing a page, like writing it out, the step, what we talked about?
Yeah.
So I think
I gathered that from her.
Yeah, especially, I think that was definitely a sign that you should pay attention to, and that there's a lot coming, in the age that we're in, so many people, that's what they're being called to do because that's what we have to do, using their own gifts. So did you try to maybe downsell her from the 5? Maybe you could also maybe try to downsell her, offer her the 3.
So she sounded so enthusiastic and stuff that I didn't even, she's like, okay, and I said, well, I'm going to create the link special for you because I don't have a link created with 1 free. So I'll send it over to you in my email. And I emailed her within 10 minutes. I mean, I went in, created the package, created it, sent it to her. And I don't know.
Maybe wait a week and then offer her 3 and say, I have just been thinking about you. And if you wanted to start out with 3 so that you could see, how you connected with it or how it felt.
Yeah.
With you, for you. And then the last thing that I want to make sure we're doing, and probably because it was the first one and you had all of that, but to create a special or package that is only, only going to be available for like within so many, a really good value. It's only going to be available within so many hours of, they have to, I'm trying to think of how we can do it online, but they have to go ahead and purchase it. They could use it for longer, but they have to purchase the session within so many, like let's say 72 hours of that actual live call. That you only offer this special during events. So people, number one, it's a reason for them to continue to come to your events. And then number 2, it's a high call to action for them to act, to act immediately. And you are giving big value. I used to do it like with services. I would offer these gift certificates for $100 for $50 at all my events live, and they were huge. And that's like 350 people would be like waiting literally like out the door simply just to buy those gift certificates. And then you can always upsell them later. Like once they do the service, you can upsell them to a package.
Yeah, that's probably a better way. And I can do that by
just something in PayPal. I think you can probably create that and have.
I don't know about that. Like if I make the link, it goes to my scheduler and they can buy it as a package. So when they buy it as a package, what I can do is make it so they have to put a code in. Like you have to use this code, like let go. And then I make the code expire in 2 days. So that if they are 1 day or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and you can say you don't have to use it within this time, but it has to be purchased. And I only offer this during my live calls. So it seems very exclusive. And it's an urgency. I think that would be another thing to add to doing those lives. Maybe next Monday, try that out and see if you get any more. But I was super happy and proud that you did. That was on the goal list, is to have a sale. So we've done that. And I don't know how long could you have gone without having any sales? Was it how long have you had the business online? Has it been
I've been working at this business for like 3 years.
3 years. So that was good. So it was I'm sorry?
Not honed in though. Like it's only been like maybe the last 3 months that I'm like finally like, okay, this is maybe like 3 months that it's been like when I had that call with Kylie and I finally owned that what I do is actually help people heal their body. Like I didn't want to put that out there till then because I was afraid of people thinking I'm diagnosing or something like that. I was afraid of it. So now I'm not, but like I was. So I'd say maybe like 3 or 4 months that I've been.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's good. Whoever it was or whatever it was, or, it's you and God really who, at the end of the day, who is doing it. But, to go 3 years, and then now that you're definitely 3 months has gone by and you've started making, you've made 3 sales, I think is huge. And you should stay in that momentum and energy and keep doing, because it'll snowball. And if we start finding other groups and doing the same thing, and we need to create some kind of process for the follow-up that makes it easy.
Yeah, I do agree about that.
I think maybe either some kind of email that you can send straight to them, or some kind of link.
Well, I think
that you can copy to like a Google document, from a Google document.
Well, in that specific group, I can actually make an offer, it looks like. So at that one, maybe I even offer just like I put a link in there and they can do the assessment for $29 for like people that were not on it live, so they still want an assessment. And that's where those 3 people booked at because of that. But maybe even like you said, maybe offering like 50% off of a session with me with a code if they're doing it during the live, if they're booking during that live.
Yes, and say I only do this. Let them know that you only do it during your live, so that you're not going to offer that at other times, so they don't. Otherwise, they'll be like, okay, I'll just later on use. She will give. Well,
and it's okay because every time I go into doing a live, I can just go to my scheduler and create the coupon code. It takes like seconds. You know what I mean, and make it expire that night. So it won't. It'll prevent that too.
Okay, good.
And then that way, when I'm on the calls when they're doing the actual healing call with me, then I can upsell or sell to the membership site.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
$5 a month. Yeah.
Get them. Yeah, just getting their email and getting them in your stream of marketing is like so much value, and you're not paying. You're not paying per lead or per click or whatever you're paying. Have you had any success? I know that you did grow the group some from people from the Facebook ads. Did you have any?
Not the group, the page.
Or the page, yes.
Yeah, I got it up to like 400, and then I haven't ran any more to it since then. But that call, I had a few likes. I think I had like 5 or 6, and I had like 7 friend requests too. So, did you accept the friend request? Because remember I told you what I would do is I most often just say, this is the best way to connect with me, and I just send them to my business page or my group page or wherever you want to send them, wherever you're most active in. I remember getting after that, and then I was like, next time I think I'll just direct them to my group. Yeah, just respond to my group, because then that'll filter them in a better boundary space. Yeah,
and then you can decide if you want to be friends with them later on. Because really, you're just trying to grow your business. You're not really trying to make friends at this point.
Yeah, and that's true. And I like to keep my Facebook page a little more
private.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so that's good. And then what else did I want to go over with you? So for your morning, are you doing your meditations? I know that you're doing a meditation with Deepak, so you're probably doing meditation every day, so that's good.
Yeah, today's like day 15.
Oh, good. How's that going? You feel good about it?
Well, in the process of the house buying, because I'm in contract and I've had inspections and had a lot of, it's not bad stress, just with that, whenever I try to meditate, my head just starts thinking about the house and all this, and I'm like, because it was on my mind.
Oh, so you're under contract with it? That's awesome.
I had my inspection yesterday, so that was a rush around day of energy of just running all day, and then
did your inspection come back okay? Ours came back horrible on our beach house.
No, there's stuff that has to be done, but I have to wait on the appraisal, and who knows, that was done this past Monday, and I should have had it by now. So I don't know why it's not there.
Oh, is that on Monday? What is today? Friday.
It should be emailed to me by now.
It should be like 2 to 3 day turnaround, I think. Here it is with my husband with what he does.
That's what it says. Who knows?
You have to pay for it, before they do it typically. So.
Oh yeah, it's already like all that. I had to pay the $500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm not real happy, but.
Yeah, I would definitely be following up with them, or the lender. If the lender set up the appraiser.
Yeah, I asked the lender about it, and he said that he hadn't heard yet either. So, I just texted him yesterday, and I don't know.
Because that's what my husband does. I don't know if you knew that. He's an appraiser, and he has an appraisal management company. So he manages like all the appraisers in so many states. He probably is up to like 15, 20 states now. So all day, that's why I hear him talking, the lenders are calling him, he's calling the appraisers saying you have to get this in. The customers even call him and are, saying, where's my appraisal? I paid $500. And so.
Well, I really needed
that soon.
Well, I needed it today so that I could get the remedy sheet to these people, because I think I have to get the remedy sheet.
Yeah, you have to decide if you're going to pay or not. Yeah, you have a week, you say, right?
10 days.
10 days. Okay, that's good.
Either way, I'm not.
It's cutting it close, right? Because I know that you did that. It was ironic because we were putting that on our house as well. That beach house that we thought for sure we were going to get it, and then the appraisal came in at the last minute, and now he had like 2 days to decide. When the inspection came in, and the AC is completely brand new, so we were excited about that. But the inspector found we're going to have to redo all the duct work, and so now we have only like 2 days to decide and get people to come out and do how much, assessments of how much that will cost, and still negotiating then on the price. So hopefully that will come back soon for you, so because that will be a big stress off. in a new direction and good energy flow for you to be in a space.
It will be. I mean,
Yes. That's definitely
was
good.
a little more stressful, I guess.
Yeah, just a lot to have on your mind. The people that you did meet with, did they feel, so was it mostly for pain? The assessments, do you think it was like pain in the body?
Anxiety and pain. Yep.
Anxiety.
They
Okay.
were all connected to things that were heavy and breaking energetic cords. The two I did the actual session with, where we had to break cords with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
As the one lady was from Argentina originally, and she was in Maryland, but her mom was still in Argentina, and she was energetically tied into her, and all her pain was coming from her mother. So it was released that she got up the next day and said she actually had energy for the first time.
That's amazing.
And her brother had passed at 12, so we had to release that. And
when he was 12, or when she was 12?
When he was 12, which she was young because she's like 50 now. So that was really powerful.
It's a long time to be holding on, yes.
Yeah, the lady was 49. I swear she looked like in her 60s because her face was so exhausted and tired looking. It was just so tired looking.
That's sad, but I'm glad that you're able to help. Do you think that you can follow up with them with supplements or extra? How about the guided meditations? I'm just trying to keep.
Yeah, I want them
to remain your clients. You know.
Yeah, I think I want to follow up with both of them and offer the membership site to them for the $29 a month, and then just say I need to go in there too, and in the membership I need to make it so like maybe they save. Maybe the $29 they save if they want a session with me. You know, like, so instead of $149, just make it $120.
Right.
And just say then if you want to do any future sessions with me, you save $29 off of a session. So I need to like make that up.
Right, like a membership fee, membership pricing.
Well, I already have that all made up. I just
I mean like a membership pricing for one-on-ones with you.
I just need to write it in the in my description of my group.
Okay. So do that and then follow up with them because they're going to, if they are in pain or their anxiety comes back, which we all know with anxiety that it can creep in at any time. And if you want them to come back to you, and you might as well be the one to continue to help them, maybe offer some of the supplements that we talked about, some from Full Script.
We've talked about that, but we've never really been in there and like made up protocols with it.
Okay.
That's something I think we can do. It's not something I'm worried about right this minute because like I'm just trying to focus on this piece, and that is like an add-on to me, which I know is going to be a little time consuming for us to go through. So I'm just like, I know that's not where I think that my best energy will go right this minute.
So then you just want to only sell energy sessions, and then that will be like it with the person. Well, and then what? So, and then you'll just like let time go by, and then you want to go back and create a second step for even the people that, like the lady from Argentina, maybe in a few months or something, go back and then offer her, start that portion of it.
Well, I think right now
all energy sessions right now.
Yeah, like right now
you're feeling. Whatever you're feeling is whatever is meant to be. So if that's what your intuition says,
it's more of I don't have the time to add more things until I get sold and get the house done. Like that's my main. Like that's a lot of energy to be gone out because I have to do so much. Like I have to get rid of things. I have to downsize some stuff. I just have a lot going there. And I just know that when it comes to supplements, I just am a little bit more. That'll just be stuff later. Right now, I think I just need to focus on my gift and then the additional things that would be complementary to it will come with time, I guess.
Okay, so do you have going back to packages like that are already made for anxiety that I feel like we talked about before that you could offer?
You mean the $97?
That doesn't involve supplements, that maybe like how many days to I'm trying to log into my computer, but it's like completely dead to look at them.
The $97 one that I created. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, like it's like an anxiety.
Yeah.
Is that something that you could offer? I'm trying to just think of a cross sell for you.
Well, I offered that even to the group for the person that had the really bad anxiety. I wrote that, I put that on there for them. Neither one of those, the one had anxiety, the one didn't. The other one just had energy attachment issues. And, you know, I did both of those calls right after I did that live call. So my mind was just not in that piece, I guess.
So the lifetime of your client, is it just like one time? Like if like the lifetime of your, like the lifetime, my lifetime of my clients is 11 years. And I know in your brick and mortar, you said you've had 10 and 11 years. So when you're doing energy sessions, is the lifetime of your client like a one-time thing? Which I find that's going to be very difficult to like make, you know, six figures or, you know, $50,000. It's like that you're going to have see a lot of people if it's just going to be one time. I'm trying to figure out.
That's why I want the group to be
raise volume per person. Do you know? And you just want to get them into the group.
Yeah, because the group is where my energy, the paid group.
Mm-hmm.
Like all along, I don't know if you, because you know, a couple of months went by and we talked about a lot of stuff, so I don't know what all you do and don't recall because I can't recall everything. But like the membership is the main, where I'm doing those one calls. I'm doing just like what I did in that live healing call. That's what I'm doing in my paid group. And that's when I'm in my most energy and flow.
Oh, because I see, I must have misunderstood you, because I swear that I felt like you said you like got on there, you didn't think much of energy. You did the reading and then you're just like cut off from it. So I didn't feel like that was like when you were in your flow or at your highest,
what do you mean?
Force. Because it's like on one of our calls, you're like, oh, I just don't really care. I don't attach to the people. I do my live calls, and then that was just, you're like, I go in and then I just can disconnect from it off.
Yeah, I do that.
I don't really care if I talk to them, something like that. I don't know your exact wording, but that was like the vibe. Like if you connected, or you know, then it was done and over. But I'm like trying to see like how you can make a connection. Because connection to me in business is, especially the future, is everything, and that is how you're going to like have the longevity of a client. You know what I mean?
That's not what I mean, because I'm just saying when I do energy work with people, I disconnect with them so I don't hold their energy in me.
Oh yeah, well okay.
But no, like the group I have, those people that are in there, they're every week tapping in. So every week I'm building relationships with them, and we're talking and we're growing. And
oh, see, I didn't feel like you were like in that flow, like maybe that you were in that live in your group. That isn't what I got from you. So then that makes sense to put them into the group.
Jenni, I feel like we need to like maybe talk or something, maybe because I can feel such a heaviness between us, and I was just gonna try like not to talk about it, but
feel free to talk about.
Well, like I want to talk about the.
I don't feel a heaviness at all. I'm a lot like you and very blunt, and I'm, you know, and if I'm not going to not say, if something bothers me or doesn't bother me, I'm not going to not say it. So yeah, feel free to talk to me. But I am also not one I don't harbor. It is what it is. And I'm done with it. Like I will always say if something is bothering me, I will say it. So you never have to worry that I'm not saying something if something is bothering me.
Well, that's how I am too.
Right.
But like what happened last night in the group text was a little bit frustrating, because I did not, the perception that you had, which I don't want to speak for you, but my intention was in no way to call you out like you had said. Like, because above that, you had said my phone and technology's not working. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just copy this and show it since she doesn't have it. Mm-hmm. And then when you came back saying that I was calling you out or assuming something, I was like, whoa, that's not who I am. And then when I said that,
like right after that, you said, you know, I've noticed in our time working together that things have been missed, which is exactly what I was talking about. Like you said that in front of another, you know, cat who I've been.
And that part I did. Like
So that was calling me out. You know what I'm saying? I could feel that energy. And I mean, I'm trust me, there's nobody who could be harder on me than I am on myself. And my intention is never, ever to miss anything. And if I do miss anything, and the last time it was that I asked to reschedule it because I was going to the doctor for brain reasons. So there was no way I could miss it, and I have to take those appointments as they come. And
Jenny, I was trying to talk to you, and you kind of I didn't even say any of that. I just wanted a minute to just kind of say where I was before you that stuff. When I meant the missed piece was just sometimes when we have had things have gotten missed as far as like there's a lot of repeating, but I did not mean when I posted the original screenshot, there was no intention there of calling you out. The intention was you said your phone wasn't working, and it was like, oh, well, here it is in case you couldn't find it. And then you said I was calling you out. I didn't feel that way at all. Like, I didn't feel like I was calling you out. I was just sharing, like, because you said your phone wasn't working. I was just sharing, like, oh, well, here it is. And so then when you said I was calling you out, and so if I was like, no, wait a second. And then I thought about it. I was like, how would she, I try to think about it. So I said back, like, hey, man, it's noted. I won't do that again. I didn't mean to. Mm-hmm. And then I had hindsight. Well, maybe I should have wrote above the screenshot, hey, in case you couldn't find it, here it is. Something maybe so you wouldn't assume that, because I don't do well with seeing how other people might see something when I don't see it that way. I didn't think I was doing that. So then when you came back, and this is the part that hurt me, and you said, well, I read energy. I'm like, so you just kind of called me a liar in a group, and you told me not to post back in the group, but you just slammed me in the group and told me not to do that when you did the exact thing in the group. And that's what kind of upset me. I'm like, I'm not going to respond to this. I'm not going to respond to any of this. I'm just going to be calm and talk to her tomorrow when I'm not upset and hurt. But I don't ever do things in a way that's hurtful. And I apologize if you felt that way, but my intention wasn't to call you out. That's the part that was upsetting. The rest of
right after that, do you think when you said things have been missed that's do you think that's calling someone out?
But you said the calling
out. I could feel that energy is what I'm trying to explain to you. I could feel that energy coming from you maybe before you even knew what you were doing. I'm highly intuitive that way, and maybe it had been thoughts in your head prior to that, and obviously since you said things have been missed or notes have not been made, but things have changed with you like several times within it too, so it's hard to keep up with where you're at or what you want to focus on. And that is how it is with all of my clients. That's part of this business, as we're constantly as entrepreneurs changing, and so we have to get straight on it. And I mean, I have a note full of notes, not only for you but my other 100 clients here as well. Mm-hmm. So it's I do have notes and can keep up with it, but things change. Just we change our mind as entrepreneurs, and it's impossible for any human being to keep up with every single.
I didn't expect that either. Person. You said that I called you out though before that comment.
I know, but I could feel the energy is what I'm telling you.
But like once you put that energy by saying those words, you put the energy out there. Like, and then I'm like calling her out. Okay, well, I felt like you put the energy out there before you had to say the words to me, because it was obvious to me if you're saying like that in front of somebody else. But it was never meant that way. I would never do that to you. I would say it. I would have posted that in a private message. I would never. But you did do that, Jenny, right afterwards. You need
because I'm going to defend myself. If you did it, I will definitely always defend myself. If somebody is saying something to me, I will let them know my side of it. My side of it is not that I had missed several things. I asked to reschedule, and I said if that was okay with both of you because of doctor's appointments. And
Jenny, I understand that. I'm never going to be a jerk.
I mean, and constantly, like I work with a lot of coaches, like myself, my coaches, and they change their schedules all the time. That's part of it.
I don't, and that's maybe where it's a my thing and your thing. When I have appointments and times with people,
but that's okay. Like it's okay to change things, I
do if something happens, like a doctor's appointment, that happens, and I understand that. But as a whole, I'm a very time-oriented person. Like if we're starting at 6 at 6 and not 6:15 or 6:40 or, like it's a me thing. That's mine, and I own that because that's like, in my ingrainment, my way of thinking, that's a respect of time. Because like last night, I did have it planned. My grandkids wanted to do something. I told them no because I had a call.
But nobody responded to that time.
I did. It was above that. You made a response to it even this morning, where I had confirmed it, because time is very important to me. And I think that you...
Time is important to everyone, you know, to all of us. Time is important to me as well.
This is really hard, Jenni, because I'm really trying to just make an amend with you and release this, but I feel like I'm not even able to.
I'm going to get her, the bus will be there at 2:23, so I'll be there. Okay, love you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not holding on to it or releasing it, but just so you know, from my point, in whatever, so that you realize it from, it's not an energy thing or not a disrespectful thing, but the part of my brain that was most damaged in my stroke, not to make an excuse, is time. And right after I had my stroke, they asked me to like draw a clock, and I'm not able to do that. Like I can't. And
I can respect that.
in numbers, it's like true brain damage that we are working on. And then they thought, when I was going to the doctor the other day, that I've had multiple strokes and that I am having strokes like in my sleep, and they're still trying to determine that. I go next week for another where they're going to like do a test of my eyes, and they can tell like how many strokes I've had. So that is something I cannot, you know, control other than the exercises that we're doing to rebuild it. And the time is like coming back, but with numbers, I get confused. It's just something, you know, it's part of my brain that's damaged, and the only thing that's going to help that is time. And
oh, I get that.
I
have a son that had a brain
injury.
injury.
So that's why sometimes I have to like confirm times, and I have to be sure, unless I'm actually looking at it, especially if it has to do with a number. My brain, unless I'm looking at it, so that's why I have to ask. And
the thing is, I'm not trying to fight with you. I'm just trying to clear air with you.
Yeah. No, air's cleared. I mean, I don't hold on. Like, I don't hold any grudges or anything. I do.
Well, I don't either, but I also feel like
to explain myself, and
I do too, but I
how
didn't
I feel. And if I feel an energy is a certain way, then. And really, I do this with, I mean, this has been with all of my clients, and even with Kat and most people, and you're maybe just the one very single person that I work with that's not like this. We're all like, okay, so it's just not meant to be right now. It's fine. I'm like, my tribe and my like circle, you know, if we do that, we are just like, oh, that's cool. It's no problem. Next, you know, that's just the energy that I'm used to surrounding myself with, and all of my clients that I have. That is, I've never had anyone being like, so like, this is our time, and like type A, I don't think I attract those clients typically. So it's the only time I've ever had any issue, even my one-on-one clients doing massage, you know. And
it's no big deal then to most of your clients if you run 15 minutes late or a half hour late, they just don't even care.
I've never had anyone say or care, and like I said, my clients are.
Maybe it's just a mismatch between us then, because to me, what do I do when I'm just waiting for 15 minutes or a half hour?
But I always make that up to you. I did the call that was supposed to be an hour for 2 hours. So I was 15 minutes late, and then I did a 2-hour call. I mean, I always 100% make it up. And that's why my clients don't care, because they know that about me. They know that I overgive.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a mentality shift, though, because to me, I never ask you to do anything you do above what you do. So when you give that, I'm not over here saying, oh, well, she gave me more. That makes up for it. I don't think that way. Okay. I think when I see someone for an hour appointment for massage, it starts at 6 and ends at 7 or whatever. I'm a very time-oriented person because I was trained that way with massage, but in general, so that way I'm like, okay, we're in at 7. Oh, I'm sorry we started 5 minutes late. I ask every client, can we go 5 minutes over, or do you have to be somewhere? No, that's fine. It's just a permission thing for me, where if you're running late and you send a little text and you're like, hey, I'm running 15 minutes late, I am totally okay. It's just the knowledge of it, because I hate just sitting and waiting. That is very, because I'm like, oh, I have 15 minutes. I can do this, this, and this. It's just, it could solve all of it if you just have a moment to say, hey, we're going to start 45 minutes late. Like you did that a few times. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll go ahead and do this, this, and this. That's just where it is. And then having, like you said, you were going to mark out the rest of the year. That's wonderful. Then I have them in there. And if stuff comes up, we just move them. That's fine. But it's a very...
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. And that's a good reason to talk about it, so that I can do that, and I can fix anything as long as it's, it's told to me, rather than letting yourself get to a space where you have an energy where because obviously you feel this way, and you've been keeping, mental notes of it, because everything that you
probably not
to me, so I can feel that, I can
Yeah, I can see that.
because I'm super, super sensitive and very intuitive that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, basically what's happening. So I can easily go in and feel, have set days until the end of the year, and that will be that. And then if I have to change it for doctors or my kids or whatever, then we'll change it, and that's no problem.
It's just one of those things. And I guess, and if that doesn't work for you, Jenni, like, I respect that too.
Yeah, no, I understand, and I respect that. I respect how you are, and I know that not everyone is like me, and that's totally that's life and reality. So I can.
Well, there's some reason that I brought you in my life with it, though, because my massage therapist girl, I love her work. She was my student. Every freaking week, I'm scheduled with her, and every week, oh, my sister has this going on. I can't make it tonight, and I'm planning it. My body hurts. I need the work. And then she just stands me up. Well, I'll come tomorrow. That's better. Then the next day, well, oh, I'm just so busy. Can we do it Saturday? Then she finally comes, and it's amazing work, and she gives extra, just like you. But for me, it's like like a mentality thing or an energy thing in my mind. I have to prepare. Like, okay, I'm going to get a massage. Okay, I have a session with Jenni. Like, I have to bring my energy into a preparedness for that.
Yeah, that's exactly how my mom is. It drives my mom crazy. I don't know how I'm like this, because she's like, if she's not 15 minutes early, she's late. So she's very much like that. And
but I
totally get that. My mom is at the 100%.
So it's not like, I hope I don't judge you by it. It's just that little small thing of like, oh, hey, I'm running 15 minutes late. It makes like the world of difference for me. But if that is not like in your wheelhouse because of your stroke, I respect that too. Like, if that's not something you're not able to do.
Well, the lucky thing with my stroke is it's getting like better. I can actually like draw a clock now, which is good. So
it should improve.
And I can like things with numbers, like I can count backward. I wasn't able to like count backwards, like by twos or threes. So it's all like coming back, and they told me it would be a full year for everything to like till I felt 100% again. Mm-hmm. And so we're like in the third phase of that. So hopefully it'll just come back, and hopefully when I get that test, I'm not having multiple strokes.
I hope you're not too, because
I don't think I am. I don't
think you are either. I think that actually you're just having some resets with some stuff is what I see.
Yeah, it's because I recovered really quickly. So they said it's normal to have like little, it's called like the evolution and something of the brain. So something can trigger me, and then my brain will like go back to being like damaged. The evolution and revolution, maybe. I don't know. It's like a coming and going of my symptoms that can be triggered by, different things. And then after a year, that's supposed to,
it should fix it.
That shift. I think that's what's happening. It's because I healed way faster than most people. And so my brain's still, although I'm like functioning and everything, it's, I still do have the damage to my brain.
Yeah. My son's just now almost 2 years out from that, and he's remarkably, the last 6 months have been impressive. Yeah. So you'll get there.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like even the past 3 months, I can feel like a huge shift from the prior 6 months. And when I was in it, I don't even realize like how like spaced out I was, or my damage to my brain was.
Well, he was angry too. He was angry. Whew. Anger is a big
maybe sign. That it was a part of his brain that was affected, They
actually said it's really common with traumatic brain injuries that there's anger afterwards. It's part of the brain. The brain can do that for a long time.
Huh.
My husband's the same way. He had a traumatic brain injury when he was 20, and he doesn't he's not violent, but he can get short circuit really fast. Like, he gets angry fast. Not that he outwardly expresses it. He internally does, but and I want to also, if it's okay, when I said things are missed, that wasn't meant in the context of that. I want to reiterate what that really was.
Okay.
You gave me homework to do, and I put all my stuff and my little things to share with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that, and then you'll come back and say that you need these things. And I'm like, hey, I put them in there like you said to. And then you'll come back and say, I need these things. And I know you get downloads, and you'll post like 6 to 10 posts, and it's usually in the middle of the night, so I don't see them until the next day, but which is fine. But then when I try to filter through all of them, it's like, okay, here's 8 things, and what is maybe in my personality or whatever, I can't keep track of it all. So it ends up feeling chaotic because I'm like, okay, well, I put these answers here. And then you'll come back and I'm like, okay, where am I? Like, I need to know how to make that communication with us so it's not so repeating. When, okay, I did that work, I put it in there. And then we come back around to it. I guess if there's a way we can put that in a container that we both are accessing, that would be great. So that way I'm not feeling that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, no, and I feel the same way because it's hard for me to like go back and like find responses and answers. And when we create that planner, that is, and then we're gonna we're gonna do a planner, like a 3-ring binder for our own planning, and we're gonna customize it.
I got them.
Oh, yay, perfect, yay!
I got pink.
Oh, and then the sticky note too. The thing I love, I just got these notes about that. You bought pink? Is that what you bought?
Yeah, I really like
show
pink.
You like how to do like a visual, because I know you're visual like I am. And
yeah.
Every time I put my hands up, they look so tan. It's like
just the one does.
My hands are like different. From maybe, I don't know.
Your skin looks like that too on your face, so it's probably the light from your.
Yeah. And I think I have more sun than I have had because I've been at the beach, so, and out in the sun more than ever. But
well, the planner
will visual help. Board where we can keep track of what we're doing, and then we're going to figure out how to do that in a shared file in Google Docs so that it's all there, and it's like a daily tracker, and all of our processes are there, and it's just in one like container. It'll be like in a binder within Google Docs, and then in our planning binders, and there'll be like a checklist for every day. You know, you can say, did you do your meditations? How did you spend? All of the prompts so that you can check off if you've done it or not. And then we're going to create like, you know, time slots, morning minutes, everything that we do, and to keep it more organized and, you know, planned out where it's an easy reference to go back and forth for all of us. And that, like, Todd Herman, I don't know if you've done the 90 days. So we're going to do everything like based on 90 days because I found that's really successful for me. It's much easier to reach my goals if I'm doing just 90 days at a time.
That'd be good.
So some of it comes from that, and then a lot of it we include the, you know, mind, body, and spirit into it as well.
No, I'm excited for that because that's where I feel like I'm really organized when it comes to my brick and mortars, like with the whole time and what I need to do and getting it done. But in this platform, I'm a little more disorganized because I haven't been doing it forever, you know. And that's the part where I think you get amazing downloads. I think you're intuitive. I do think all that. But it's like, if you're like me, we get all that. But like, it's got to have some organization to it because I get so many downloads every day and I'm personally not even making enough notes. You know, I'm not even saying this thing about you. I'm talking about me. Like, I don't do this. And then I'm like, oh man, yeah, God gave me that download like 3 weeks ago. You know, I need a way to, I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know if you're the person I think you are, but I need someone to help me be more organized because I'm feeling the chaos and I can't handle chaos. It drives me bonkers. And then I get frustrated and angry and then maybe my energy get built up and I don't like that.
No, I mean, no, it doesn't. I think what I've learned about myself is I probably need to have like office hours and hours I'm going to work. And then when I'm with my family on vacation, then maybe not, because I make myself too available, and then during that time I don't have everyone's folders with me when I'm like responding and I'm working out at the gym while I'm on vacation. So I need to be, you know,
boundaries.
Boundaries. I need to do that myself. That is something that I know I need to work on so that I can be organized. Just like, you know, I can't give a massage when I'm on vacation to somebody. So I need to, even though that it's, you know, online is so accessible, it's a blessing and a curse, I often say, because you can work from anywhere, but then also the fact that I can work from anywhere can be not working to my best.
Well, you probably noticed too, I hardly ever message you without you have messaging me first.
Yeah, and I don't mind people messaging me because
I try not to.
Like, I like working like that.
Okay.
So I don't mind. Like, I really don't mind people messaging me, but probably if I'm like losing things and not keeping track of things or remembering things, that could be something that I could personally work on if I don't have someone's folder with me. But I even like take like that those first times when I was traveling, I had everyone's folder and binders with me.
Really?
Scheduling calls. You know, I have a backpack. My husband's like, what in the world are you doing? It's like weighed like 30 pounds with all of my work stuff in it. And I probably could do a better job of.
Well, I hope you know I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying, like, this is what I need. And I know if we're sharing the energy, maybe.
No, I think that's good. I think that that's good. And I am very receptive to somebody talking to me. And then I obviously want to help anyone. And if there's a way I can change so that it helps you better, then I'm definitely willing to do that, because
me too.
About what I do. And
well, you have so much great stuff, Jenni, and I'm saying this as a compliment to you. You have so much great knowledge. It's just not in a easy accessible container, you know, because you have so many downloads. So when it's someone on the outside like me, and I'm in tune, but not in tune with you, like how you think of all of it. So how can I interpret you? Does that make sense? Like,
yes,
because you have so much great information, but it's like, how do I filter through all of it? It's like, where's it at?
yes. I mean, I'm probably going to have, I've done all of that, like through like Teachable and through different platforms. And then I get sick of like paying the, the high fees. So I'm probably just going to have to go back into doing, and I didn't also like in Teachable, it's just like videos. And then I feel like I don't make as great as a connection. And I feel like the downloads that I get that can be unique and customized aren't the same. So that's why I don't want to like put videos out with what.
Oh, I don't think you should do that.
Videos. So I like to like do it like one-on-one. That's what I've discovered. And to be like this, and as it comes in, to be able to brainstorm and get my ideas, because I feel like if I talk to you, then I can understand. Because if not, if I agree about that. I would never like get your feedback personally, you know, or what's going on with you, or what you're doing. So it's just I have to figure out how to, in this kind of container, keep track of that. And it's making notes, but maybe I need to do like follow up on PDFs or something. I don't know. I need to make some kind of worksheets, which I love making worksheets. So, well,
even Kat commented about that. You know, she liked the work, and I do too. It's like a checklist for us. Like when I had that first worksheet with 18 things, okay, did that, marked off. I did that, marked off, did that, and I'm doing it with my intuition. But it's like checking it off. Okay. And then I'm like, so we did that the first month, and then I don't think we got a worksheet the second month, but it's like helps me see I'm progressing, you know, like, okay, but this is beginning and then I'm progressing. So I guess the trackable part of me is good for me, I guess.
Yes. And I could definitely make, and that's part of what the planner is. We'll have all those checklists.
That'd be so good.
And through each of the directions. And I think that it was the second month was just a weird month, because
it was
like really none of us were ready to go like to the next direction. And direction, like the South, all of the teachings of the South is like the hardest working part. And we were like unsure, you know, I feel like all of us were like unsure of what direction we were going with things. So we kind of was like in a pause state, and I don't feel like it's in that way. I definitely am in a ready to roll phase, and I feel like we all are. So I can create those, you know, that's kind of like how the directions go, and they continue like forever. Like once you go through them, then you start back and you go through them all again. You just like up level every time, because you're a different person when you go through the cycle. So that I feel that that's what happened. Who knows if that is or not what truly happened.
I was off too. We all were. Yeah. All three of us were.
But then I do think some beautiful things came out of that.
Too.
Because, I mean, look at like the progress you made and all of those connections you made. And you made posts that were talking about your unique experience. And I think that maybe that's just what we needed, was to connect and be able just to hold space. And I think that there definitely was like progress. And look what you did with the live calls. I think that's what needed to happen, you know.
Oh, I do too. I try to be in flow, Jenni. If I'm not in flow, then the more I try, I don't try. I feel like there's maybe a little bit of a misinterpretation with me, because I'm all about like, look at what you need to get, where you need to go, and then think of the plan, and then relax and let it happen. Like, you know, you have to have some sort of path, but the path could change. And then
that's why I want to do like 3 month plans for us. So that we have direction, and that it's motivating to us. There's my hand looking so weird. So that you see where you're going, and you have 3-month goals, because I think 3-month goals
Yeah.
are much easier to reach, and then you can see like, oh, this is what I've done. And I also think it's important to write down and track like what we have accomplished and what we have done, because then you can, you know, keep track of your wins, because I do think that I know that you've had a lot of wins, and I think writing it down, there's power in that. And it's also like 40% more likely that someone's going to do something if they write it down. So that's why we're going to write down our goals and really sit together and create a plan of action to have growth. And I mean, I've always worked like that in my brick and mortar, so that's what we're going to do this month, and that's where we're going to focus.
Are we starting that Monday then? Is that part of it?
Yes, that's what we'll do at that 2:30 time, though. And I put our call today in the calendar. I don't know if it popped up for you, our shared one, and then I'll put those 2:30.
Oh, right. Yeah, that Google Calendar. I think that's the one that I couldn't get the link into. Like when you created that in Facebook, I clicked it and I said it didn't work. I can't get to that. Oh, okay. Okay, so I redid it after that because Kat said it didn't work either, and then I thought I redid it, but I'll go back into the settings and make sure you have access. So I will put those 2:30 times, and then I'm just going to put everything in there, and that way we all have one place where it is, and it's easy to find, and we don't have to like scroll through any post to look for it when things. That's where I think you get lost when all the time goes, and then the other things, and you know there's many times like I don't even know that you posted something in there, and except for I went in because you did, and I just scroll down, and I have completely missed like that one I commented on, like, hey, are we doing one tonight? I never saw that. I never got a notification for that post.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not getting notifications either. I don't know why. Yeah. Maybe because there's not that much activity. It's just, not that many people currently. So
yeah. Well, yeah, if you don't mind letting me know when you reshare that in the group or something, tag me.
I'll just send a link, to you on Facebook.
That'd be good.
So that you can let me know if it's working or not, and hopefully it does, because I use Google. I've been using that, for 10 years, and usually it's not a problem. And you have a Google account, a Gmail account, so it should be good. Well, working. Okay, well, good. Well, I'm glad. And don't think that I I don't hold on to anything, so I'm not like upset or anything of anything. And I'm like, if anything, I think it brings me closer when you, just like my husband and I, when we get angry and talk, or we have a difference in something, then we end up being closer because we're able to communicate, and that's important. So I'm not. And after that, then it's just gone with me. It doesn't come up again.
Well, honey, I'm a true Gemini, so I let it go.
Oh, yeah, so that's, I'm used to, I am very used to Gemini, and then I'm on the cusp, so.
Yeah, it's just the one, it's just the whole, I never like someone to have a perception of me, I guess, that I feel is negative. So I, like when I read the comments, I was just like, wait a second, and this is not how I feel and think. That was never my intention to do that. So, I mean, if you thought that, obviously I said I was sorry, but
yeah, I appreciate, I appreciate you clarifying that, so, and letting me know. So
yeah, because
I also appreciate letting me know about the time thing, so I can do better with that. And I think today I did well with it.
I was waiting. I was like, all right, well, I'll wait for the link, or if she wants to record it. So I saw you recorded it instead, but I didn't know which way you wanted to do that, so it didn't matter either way. Yeah,
I recorded it, and I'll send you a link. Right, I'm gonna go pick up Riley from the bus stop. It's her first day.
Well, glad my little guy starts next week.
Yeah, she was way braver than I was. So I can't wait to see how her day went when she gets off the bus today.
That'll be so good.
Yeah, so I'm going to go get her right now, and big love to you, and we will be meeting in the group. I haven't written it all down here, but at 2:30, whatever, that August day.
With the little binder thing, am I going to need to have like a 3-hole punch or something?
Yes, because some of the daily sheets that I created for you guys, you don't have to put them in there. You can handwrite it, but you can also get plain white paper and just like school line paper, because we'll do like daily pages and flip them over. And I can make, maybe I can make like a list of supplies and show you guys what it will look like, so that you can have what you need. Just like regular paper.
Because I have to go school
I have a 3-ring binder, so a 3-ring binder would be good if you have that. I mean, not a 3-ring binder, a whole punch.
Well, I have to go school shopping this weekend for Cody's supplies. So
Yeah,
if you do have it, I can pick it up while I'm there.
Yeah, I'll send you like what I use, and so that you know exactly what we use, and you don't have to use all of them. Like I just use regular note paper a lot of times. You know, that 99-cent roll that you can get. So it's I don't want it to be like something that that you're spending so much money on. But okay, so that's what we'll do. I'll send a list of supplies, and you'll have a little follow up because we have the video. I'll send you the recording. I'm going to let it download, and then I'll probably, because I'm going to go wait for the bus, and when I get back, it'll be ready, and I'll send it to you. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. See you soon. Good luck with your house and everything too. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.